couple months ago, I was walking in the parking lot when Tammy pulled up. The sound was unmistakable. It wasn't a squeal. It was a piercing grind of metal against metal. It was the kind of noise that sets your teeth on edge and makes you worry that the car won't actually stop. As she hopped out, my first thought was one of concern. I wonder if she's struggling. I assumed she must not have the extra cash right now to maintain a safe vehicle. Nobody drives on brakes like that by choice, I told myself. A few hours later, I overheard a conversation. Tammy was talking about her holiday plans. She mentioned with a hint of pride that she spends over $6,000 every year on Christmas gifts and celebrations. It was a jarring realization. The $6,000 she spent in December could have replaced those brake pads 12 times over. It could have bought a new set of tires, paid for a full mechanical inspection, and plenty left over for the significant emergency fund. But she chose gifts instead. We all have the same tool in our hands, our income, but we do not all share the same priorities. A $6,000 Christmas is a choice. A car that can't stop safely is also a choice. Financial freedom isn't always about how much you make. It's about the disciplines you choose: safety and stability and stewardship over temporary retail high. If your spending choices are creating a safety risk for your family, it's time to reevaluate your budget. Let's dive into it. Welcome to Financial Coaching Kingdom, the podcast that helps you align your money with your purpose. I'm your host, Jon. We've all felt the weight of financial stress, the sleepless nights, the silent disagreements with our spouse, the feeling that we've just not in control. But what if there's a better way? What if managing your money was less about math and more about peace of mind? On this podcast, we'll explore a different kind of financial freedom. It's not just about what you earn or what you owe. It's about the emotional clarity that comes from being on the same page with your spouse, the spiritual strength you gain from worshiping God with your finances, and the deep satisfaction of knowing you're building a lasting legacy for your family. Every week, we'll cut through the noise to bring you simple, powerful truths that will help you move from financial chaos to confidence. If you're ready to find clarity, grow in unity, and live with purpose, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about some hard truths. Those ideas of what's a want versus what's a need. We often tell ourselves we need things to survive. But for most of us living in a modern society, our needs are actually wants in disguise. When we label a luxury a necessity, we give ourselves emotional permission to overspend. This creates a mask that hides the truth. Your financial stress isn't caused by a lack of income, but by a lack of priority. If you want to reach financial freedom, you need to be willing to unmask your habits and call them what they really are. Three areas where the need and want line gets blurred most often is one like food. We need calories to live. You want convenience of DoorDash, the atmosphere of a steakhouse, or the premium branding of organic-only grocery stores. If you're in debt, eating out is a want you can't afford. Also, those vehicles. We need reliable transportation to get to work. You want the heated leather seat, the upgraded trim package, and the status of a specific brand. A $600 car payment is not a necessity. It's a choice to prioritize status over margin. School choices. Providing an education for your children is a responsibility. However, a specific private school or opting for out-of-state university is often a want. If the tuition is funded by debt and will cripple your retirement or your children's future, the choice needs a reality check. A couple places that will show where our priorities are the couple G words. We're going to talk about gambling and giving. If you're gambling, whether it's the lottery, sports betting apps, or casino, gambling is never a financial strategy. It's entertainment at best and a destructive habit at worst. If you are struggling to pay your bills but find money for a parlay, your priorities are masked by an illusion of a quick fix. What about giving and tithing? For the believer, tithing is an act of obedience. Whether many people mask their lack of giving by claiming they can't afford it, while still funding every want on this list, true stewardship puts giving at the top of the budget, not at the bottom. It's a need for the soul and a testament to who you trust as your provider. Now let's talk a little bit about insurance. I know nobody wants to pay insurance. You don't want to think about actually having to use that insurance, and you hope that you ever actually do it. So you hope that you're just paying money that you never use. I get it. I understand it. But it is something that is needed. For example, let's talk about health and disability insurance. I had a dear friend who went without health insurance for about 3 weeks. And then during that time, he ended up having an accident that cost him dearly. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has an accident every 3 weeks, but we don't know. We don't know when that's going to happen. So having it or a form of insurance that helps you with the health is a very good idea, even if you're young. And disability, let's talk about that short-term disability insurance. If something happens to you, if you get disabled, if you're some reason you're not able to work, you want to have some way to provide for your family by having disability insurance, whether short-term or long-term. Usually, it will help you. It will help your family. Vehicle insurance. If you have a vehicle and you're driving, you need to protect yourself and others on the road. I have a dear friend who recently had his vehicle parked on the street exactly where it was supposed to be, right by the house, safe and sound, and a drunk driver ran into his car. He didn't have insurance. So now he gets to pay for the repairs of a drunk driver who drove away, who will never pay for the repairs that they cost. Term life insurance. If you have a family, you have an income that family is relying on, what would happen if you passed away? You need to provide that safety, that security to your family, especially in such a hard time, if that were to ever happen. Many people skip these needs because they don't prioritize immediate gratification, yet they will spend that same premium money on a streaming service or hobbies. To move from chaos to clarity, you must perform a budget audit. Look at every line item and ask, if I lost my job tomorrow or my income was cut in half, would I still think this is a necessity? If the answer is no, it's a want. The engine of your financial life is your income. The budget is your map. If you're ready to stop making excuses and start making progress, you have to be honest about where the money is going. We all have different priorities. We all have different needs. We all have different places that we're going with our finances. It's time to get that roadmap for yourself so that you know how to worship God with your money, with your family. If you're listening and thinking, this is great, but I don't know where to start, that's exactly why we're here. We offer one-on-one coaching to help you build a personalized financial strategy that aligns with your faith and your goals. Visit financialcoachjonllc.com. That's financialcoachjon,
llc.com to book your free discovery call. Let's work together to create a roadmap to your financial future.
On Sunday, my wife and I got into church, got our assigned seats. No, we don't have assigned seats, but we always sit in the same places. And they were reading the verses that were going to be preached upon during the sermon. And those are Colossians 3:17 through 3:21. They read the verses. Then I leaned over to my wife and I whispered, not sure why they're reading so many verses. They really only need to focus on one. And she responded by whispering back, I agree, after looking at him. And she said, verse 19. Truthfully, I agree with her. It is one of the major verses that we as men need to focus on. But it was kind of a fun playfulness. And if you will need to read it to see why we're being playful. But verse 17, Colossians 3:17 is a verse that has helped to direct my steps, my actions in all aspects of my life, especially in the workplace. And whatever you do, in word or in deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. It's that great reminder, are we really giving thanks to God for all the things that he's given, for all the things that we are doing? Are we praising him? I hope that you can answer yes, and I hope you have a great day.
If you've enjoyed this episode, the best way to support the show is by taking a moment to rate and review it in Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It only takes a minute, and it helps new listeners find us. If you know someone who would love this conversation, please share it with them. Thank you for listening, and God bless.